All right, guys, we're super excited here today. We have one of my favorite individuals in Western North Carolina. Yeah, look, North Carolina's been winning. We got Tedrow McMillan, we got Con Kneppel, J. Cole's releasing his album, and Western North Carolina. If you've seen his memes, you know who he is. We got Petey Smith-Mcdowell.
Hey,
We're glad
y'all.
you're here, man.
Hey, y'all.
Yeah, glad to have you.
That's what. Glad you're here, man.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so I'm interested, man. You know, Western North Carolina is a small place, and you know, as politicians,
Yeah.
we don't get the same opportunity to joke about the things that you get to joke about. So, how did you make this step into comedy? And then, how did you make this step into joking about things that Dalton and I deal with, like dirty water after Hurricane Helene, and then make that into a meme in West North Carolina that everybody knows?
How I got started. How I got started was actually like I was in an acting program at AB Tech, and my acting director was like, "You have a timing, you have a speeding, and a cadence. It probably is better for like stand up." So he made half of my grade to go to an open mic, and I didn't have to go back to the class. I could just go to the open mic, and I counted as half of my grade. So I did that, and then jumped into comedy, and just stayed in the lane of comedy, and just like based it out of like Western North Carolina. And then the memes came from we're back in the class kids. We like little jokes like that. We like little pop culture moments. We're like, hey, do you remember this little that? And then watching it come up, I was like, I wonder if like Asheville could do that. And then we did. There was actually a meme page called Crying in Chicken Alley.
Called what?
Crying in Chicken Alley.
Okay.
That was like one of the first ones. And then on Twitter, there was like the downtown hotspot. And they were just riffing on like perfect Asheville culture, but then they kind of stopped. And I was like, who's going to hold up this mantle? This is a serious mantle that needs to be held up in Western North Carolina. So I was just like, let me just put my spin on it. And then I did it for a while. And then the only reason my name is on it, why everybody knows my name, is because my account got hacked. My original account got hacked. And it got hacked by... it got hacked by... it was a group out in Africa. And I'm not going to say the flag of the group that it was, but I managed to hack them back. And then I got to screen time with them under my account.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole story right there.
Okay, yeah. Please tell that whole story.
It was okay. So my account got hacked by Nigerians in Africa. And the only reason I know that is because I got on my burner account and logged back in and called that account, and they picked up. And as soon as they picked up, they put the camera down, but I could see the flag immediately on the background. And I was just like, I can't believe y'all Nigerians stole my flag. They're like, how do you know we're Nigerian? I said, because I have a basic Western North Carolina education system. I know the flag system. I know a Nigerian flag when I see one. And then they immediately they put it down. So I start re-releasing all my memes on that account. I get my original account back.
Wow.
But the memes were so, like, I was just mad. So I was just like, got to start all over. Let's start from the ground. So I flipped it and was just like, what if I made fun of the city? And I did one meme, and then that got a lot. And I was like, what if I did it twice?
Yeah.
And then I did it twice, and then grew, and I was just like, what if I just make a thing? And then lo and behold, it just touches mayors.
Yeah.
It gets to the mayor.
Yeah, me, you, Zeps, matters.
Yeah.
I would love, I mean, as a quick aside, that's just kind of beautiful to be scamming, but also that patriotic. That
you got the flag in there. I was like, you know what? It's more than a name tag. You know, it's your own. These are my nation needs to know that I'm tied for what I'm doing. I'm taking Instagram accounts from comics in Western North Carolina. Yes.
Wow.
But then I was like, that was the blessing that came out of it. So I got to low-key like kind of salute the Nigerians that stole my account, because I wouldn't be here right now with
them. Yeah. Happy accident.
So what's the process to making your memes? Like, how do you decide what's memeable and what isn't?
I go out a lot and listen to, like, I go out to bars. I do stand-up comedy, so I'm like always amongst the people, and I just if I hear enough rumblings about something, I'm like, okay, I can do that. And then I try to tie it into like whatever popular shows going on. Like we talk about Schitt's Creek. Like that's a very Asheville type of vibe. Portlandia is a very Asheville type of vibe.
Yeah.
Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt's kind of an Asheville vibe. It's like little goofy things like that, and try to showcase like a specific thing. That's what grabs people's attention. So I just try to do that.
Yeah, nice.
You talk about like this kind of Asheville vibe, which I feel like is talked about a lot. And you're in the driver's seat as somebody who's kind of like an influencer inside about Asheville, but Asheville's a city that a lot of people outside of Asheville talk about, you know? And so I guess, like, how would you capture the Asheville vibe authentically?
Well, our stereotypes I think our stereotypes are like changing. I don't think we're just like everybody just thinks of the traditional Asheville stereotypes.
And I'm going to cut you off. Petey and I are basically cousins.
Yeah, it's my god brother.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's how
Seriously.
Western North
Yeah, yeah.
Carolina is just
Yeah,
the woods.
Yeah.
If y'all trying to learn what rap slang to call North Carolina, is the woods.
Yeah.
We're all connected in the woods. You got to go to this part of the woods, to that part of the woods, and we're all in the woods. But it was, we're cousins. We're God.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Wow.
His
Yeah.
grandmother and my mom like worked together, and my
Yeah.
mom had like 3. She was like, you get a church godmother, and then you get 2 working godmothers.
When did you find this out?
The other day. Yeah.
The other day.
Yeah. This
Okay.
probably like last week.
Yeah.
I posted my grandma getting something from the city of Asheville, and
I was like,
and he sent me a message, and he was like,
I was like,
that's-
is it your? I was like,
Yeah.
like you. I
and you
was like,
said Glenda McDowell, which
Yeah.
is your mom.
my mom was
And
going
I,
in,
and I called my grandma. I was like, "Hey, do you know Glenda McDowell?" She was like, "Oh yeah, Peter." I was like, "What?" I was like, "Why did I know that?"
yeah, I was like, that's how like that other like generation of Asheville like so deep that it's just I always think
Yeah.
they're like the Mount Rushmores that they
Mhm.
just don't talk anymore. But
Yeah.
they like, oh, we have 35,000 stories that half y'all related that y'all need to connect these dots, but you'll
Mhm.
figure it out. It's the stranger things of life.
Mm-hmm.
So that the stereotype of Asheville, you said you feel like you're
I feel
moving
like
away from it.
We're moving. I think we
Yeah.
updated it. It's no longer like the hippies with like dreads. Like they have on suits now. Like they're a little bit faded. It's
Yeah.
like we've
Yeah.
upgraded. The new generation has like came in.
Yeah,
and
gloves.
they're a little bit more of a hustler. So I was like, it's no longer like, oh, we're just living out of vans. They're living out of vans with like side hustles now.
Yeah.
Like living in a van is the side hustle. They're like got a whole Instagram following.
They're
just not
day
living-
trading.
Yeah, they're day trading.
Yeah.
No, they're all little hold your wallet little people now. They're all little entrepreneurs. So I
Yeah.
was just trying to like upgrade that and then show off like they used to think like, oh, the ladies in town are just like all hippies and that. I was like, no, these girls know how to like drive forklifts now. Like
Yeah.
these are new West North Carolina women. So like showcasing them. And then like the businesses have changed because you guys will see like certain things come in, certain things go, but then
Right.
the things that stay, you're like, they need a little bit more light. Like I was going to do a meme about the ice cream sandwich place because
Yeah.
that made me eat crow.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember when it first came out, I was like, that's not going to last. It is a staple in this community.
Yeah, it
now, if
really
that
is.
goes down,
It
what
really
are we
is.
doing as a city?
Yeah.
Like it's certain things. So it's like anything like that stayed. I'm always just like highlight them
Yeah.
and then good little local business. So it's just like a fun little way to do it now. So it's just like, hey, we're no longer, we have the drum circle. But we got deodorant now. Stop
Yeah.
doing that like we don't care. Like, we're like some of us, yes, but the rest of us, we know what we're doing.
Any
Like,
city worth visiting has a drum circle. You know,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
yeah.
yeah, it's live now. And it's like, I was going to ask you guys too, like as mayors, how much of the meme culture, like you guys can use it now? Like you guys are like, oh, we can't do that. But there's certain mayors that are like, we can use a little bit of this. So does that throw into like your games?
I like the you see me share.
Yeah,
their
you'll
stuff.
share, yeah.
Yeah, I
So
like-
that's how I know. I'm like, okay, you can do a little bit of these.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of overlap between politics and comedy.
Yeah.
It's like particularly in our public speaking spaces, like I like to watch comedians and I like to learn from them because they are like some of the most wonderful public speakers out there. And they have this craft that just really captures people's attention, like
Yeah.
hooks them in. I think about like Barack Obama. It's like he has
He does
that,
bits.
yeah,
Yeah.
he has that craft. And I think about like the correspondence dinner and like, he's telling jokes. I'm like,
I used to tell
what's
people,
the difference between Barack Obama and Petey Smith-Mcdowell, to be honest?
I tell people all the time the two greatest comedians I watched growing up were like, I was a Nick at Night kid. You know, they're like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
this Disney kid. I was like, I grew up with my grandparents. I was a Nick at Night kid. So
Yeah.
it's like Lucille Ball and George W. Bush were the greatest comedians I've ever seen in my life. Drop
Mhm.
gems on
Yeah.
the American people. Watch this drive. I quote
That's
to this
exactly what I
day.
was about to say.
To this day.
Or what is it? I
I always
believe that
think about-
man and fish can live together. Isn't
Yeah.
that a George W.
Fool me
Bush?
once, shame
What?
on me.
Yeah.
Fool me
J.
twice,
Cole,
shame
that's
on
all
me
I'm thinking
again.
about. No
Yep.
role models, man. That's
I
all
was
it
like,
comes to mind. Yeah.
comedians were at the table at writing table like, we
Yeah.
can't think of this guy. Like this
Mhm.
is. I used to think he was like, remember the Ernest Saves Christmas?
Yeah.
I used to think that was George. I was like, oh, that's just Ernest Saves the President.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
what. Yeah. So I always think you can always tie it in the boat.
Yeah.
Like, when you guys watch movies, do you guys root for other mayors in movies?
Sometimes mayors are like the kind of the villains sometimes.
That's what I was
Yeah.
gonna say. Do you
That-
guys
that
look at that? I would. You know what? I would close the beach down.
Yeah, and Jaws. I
Yes,
mean, that
yes.
mayor is terrible. He's like
Yeah,
the
he's-
big issue. I mean, I think that's the weird thing is you kind of naturally, especially being an American,
Yeah.
so much of it's being like rah rah, almost anti-government, independent. That's in
Mhm.
us. And so the mayor is always seen as like the man and sticking to the man. And I even get that a lot because like Boone's a pretty young town, and so a lot of times it's like, oh, if you're in elected office, you're like rich and you have a monocle and you like
Yeah.
smoke a cigar and like like kidnap puppies.
Monocle.
And I'm like, dude, like I'm like 26 years old, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
That's how they're reinventing the wheel. So
Yeah.
you're like, you know what? It's like in Ghostbusters, you're like, I would allow the Ghostbusters to take over movies.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like if you're haunted by a bunch of like Appalachian ghosts, you're like, no,
Let's get the
Ghostbusters to come in.
Yeah.
Pull up, get all the ghosts out of town. Like, I don't want them either. I'm like, we don't have the capacity. We probably don't have the budget to hire anybody professional to get the ghosts.
Yeah,
That's
man.
like the Ghostbusters are here, and they
Public
want to
Works
provide
do a
it.
lot, but
Not both.
And this is the
They
woods
can't
of
back up.
Appalachian. We are very haunted out here.
Yeah.
So you're gonna need a very sturdy A+ Ghostbusters group.
Yeah,
I
that's
think,
right.
you know, as we talk about like the memes and like navigating it, I've always viewed comedians as kind of like truth tellers. I thought a lot
Mhm.
that I think Democrats and Republicans were, you know, all politicians are bad at messaging at some level. I think we can take a lot from comedians. And there's like, I can wax poetic. So I have a question for you, and I'll answer my question first. As far as like, I try to be funny. I think I'm still trying to figure out like what is an authentic kind of approach where I can be like honest and share my
Mhm.
humor, and then also recognizing like I'm young, you know, I've got longer hair, I don't look like a mayor,
Yeah.
right? And so there's obviously a lot of people in my town that already just because of who I am are like, oh, you know, maybe he can't be mayor, or maybe he doesn't look the part. So it's like, do I want to lean into humor and maybe be taken less seriously? Like, what does it look like to look authentic while keeping that? And I'm still navigating it. Like, I will say I posted on my Instagram story and I was like, this is pretty casual, but I felt it in my soul. It was this old mayor in Buffalo.
Pokemon.
He couldn't name a single Pokemon.
The
And they were like,
Pokemon, I
trying
saw
to-
it, yeah.
And I was like, I posted on my story. I was like, if you come to me with any Pokemon, I'm naming
You
it.
know, like, I've called them all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
like,
call them all. Don't mess with me.
I called the
Like,
original ones. How many new ones y'all done
Right.
made? I done called them all. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think I'm teasing that out, and humor is the best way to really take your critics to task. I've found Obama did that really
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
I mean, at the
The
correspondence
correspondence
dinner,
dinner,
and stuff.
his State of the Union, when I was like, even that room of like, I always think politics is just reading of the room.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
all you kind of
it is.
learning of stand up. It's just like, hey, I have these group of people, I have their attention, and I have a skill set that I'm about to craft, and I took
Right.
time to build it up. So how can I grab their attention? There's no, like I said, it's like when you guys do it in front of a speech, it's like, how do I grab these people's attention, or coming from different demographics?
Yeah,
But a joke will always ice break it.
yeah,
Yeah.
So and it's a good reader of the room, because it's like, okay, if you guys laugh at this, I can go here.
yeah.
Mhm.
So that's what I think you're trying to master, is like,
Totally.
what good little joke can I just drop? Because that would save a whole show.
Yeah,
Like, you drop one good joke that can just make the crowd go, oh, or like that.
yeah.
Like I was reading a book about Chris Rock. Oh, Chris Rock was doing an interview, and he was on tour with Luther Vandross,
Yeah.
and he was like, he was back there. He was like, Luther, I got him screaming. You hear him out there screaming, and Luther Vandross was like, get in the crowd to scream is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Getting them to shut up is a class act. That is what you're supposed. And then so he said, I stood backstage and I watched him. And he said, Luther goes out there and holds a note and goes, huh, and the whole crowd goes. And then he goes, that's how you're supposed to do it. And then
Yeah.
drops a note and the crowd goes crazy. And then that's how and so it's like little moments like that, because you can win a whole election just off of that one
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. And sometimes, these elections now, politicians, sometimes it's just bobs, unfortunately.
It is.
And then so I think really like the meme culture,
Mhm.
and like being a comedian, I really think that overlaps with it, because it's like you share things that I couldn't share. And it's
Yeah.
like I get the bobs, right? I get the bobs, but it's like I can't share that content like from my own page. It's like when you were talking about Christy Nolan, for example.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like Dalton and I have talked, like Christy Nolan has failed West North Carolina, has failed a
Oh,
lot
yeah,
of people.
yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
with ICE, it's like with FEMA recovery.
Oh yeah, when she owes us money, we got.
Yeah,
I guess we have to go to Corey to go get the check. I was told we were supposed to go to Corey to go get the check, and Christy's kind of busy.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I can say that,
Mhm.
but it's just like, because you have so much of a following, and it's like they're looking at you to be the higher praise. You have to find the lesser version.
Yeah,
of
it's
that,
like-
a
it's
little
like-
layer of it off of it.
Yeah.
I can go to
Yeah,
the bone.
and it's like
with
I
it.
say
Yeah.
the same thing, but I say it in like a much more diplomatic way, and you're like, "Here's this meme.
It's
Christy Nolan sucks."
It's the greatest.
Yeah.
It's the greatest. You need the Key and Peele negotiator, the Obama negotiator.
And
That
the
is one of the
translator.
The anger
greatest.
translator, yeah.
That is one of the
Mhm.
greatest sketches of all time.
For
Help
that reason.
politics, yeah, just for that
Mhm.
reason. I was like, everyone needed, not just Obama.
Yeah.
Everyone needs it. There's very few politicians who can come out and be like, I'm not doing that, and then it's not a problem.
Yeah, and to me, like, so I grew up pretty rural, working class, and the thing I found about most regular people, working people, like everyday people, is they have the best sense of humor.
Okay, yeah.
They
And,
do.
and I've always, like, I've read this one time in the book. It's true. It's like, if you're trying to get working people on your side, you don't go to them and tell them how hard
No.
life is.
No, you have to go be the
You have
leader
to-
of that room.
Yeah, and be kind of funny. I
Yeah.
mean, people know how hard the world is, right?
Yeah.
If you've lived it, you don't need some politician.
I need you to remind me about it.
You've got it so terrible.
Show me a little bit of light at that
a little
time.
bit of light, a little bit of hope, and that kind of humor approach. And my dad said this one time, and I think it was one of my favorite quotes. But he's this dude that really had it, tough pretty much his whole life, and really worked to kind of keep his head above water. He'd always bust out laughing and make jokes about pretty hard situations. I remember one time I was like 7 or 8, and I was like, Dad, like, why are you laughing? This is pretty dicey. And he's like, son, if I started crying, I'd never stop. And he busted out laughing.
You gotta find
you got to find the joy, and I think that's how a lot of politicians or a lot of comedians keep politicians honest.
Yeah, it's a good way. It's like Jon Stewart's like a great blending of the world of like a guy who is a comedian, but at the drop of a hat could be a politician, and it changes the whole game. So it's like, even to the president that you have now, it's like it's still a character that you're playing that people can relate to. But at the same time, it's like you guys are kind of the new generation. It's like, hey, I can play that character, but also I'm actually a person. Yeah. It's like I can do everything that like we know what I'm supposed to do as a politician, but also I'm one of us. I'm actually one of us. So I was like, you see like the AOC, this newer generation who's like, I work bar.
Yeah.
Like if anybody works bar, you're like, yeah, you got my vote. You already know how to take care of me. You know how to tip work. You know, you've done through every level.
You can work under pressure. Yeah. You got 200 people looking at you at night, trying to.
Yeah. So I was like, our generation's kind of like, did you come from like the working class? It's like, yes, there's people who like kind of are built into politics and that's all they know, but then there still need to be a representation of us in there. Like, oh, you came from the dirt. You got it out the mud. You got out the woods. You got out the woods.
Yeah.
Like when y'all were little, did y'all think y'all would be mayors?
No,
absolutely. I don't think there's a single person.
Like you when y'all was watching Jaws, y'all was like, that wouldn't be me.
I wouldn't be him because
I hate him.
because he sucked.
Like, don't give me those big scissors. I don't know what to do with them.
No, I don't think there's a single person that would say President Blake is going to be a mayor when he grows up. Because like, and again, like we're cousins, so like if you find some of our family members, y'all, they'll ask them, they'll be like, nah, our president's really shy, like he's quiet, like he's an introvert, and I still consider myself an introvert. I'm in the middle.
You're an introvert, but your job is an extrovert.
Yeah. It's like you turn it off and turn it on, and it's like I was always so laid back, and like, even going through college, I was always the person. I was like, I want to help people, but like, I don't want to be on like I don't want to be the guy.
Yeah,
I like working like on the front line.
If you play sports, it's like, hey, I play basketball, so it's like I'm used to being point guard. I can put people in order, but I still need my big man. I need my small forward to cut. So it's like I love being a part of a team. It's like, look at this machine working.
Yeah.
Like in West North Carolina, it's kind of hard to be a star, but it's good when you got a good team because then it was like all like sinking ships ready to tide. So it's just like we're all like, oh, we're good, we're cooking, we're moving.
That's right.
And that's why I was like, that's why the Hornets are 30.
Let's
30
go.
and 31 currently. 30 and 31 currently. I got to parlay on that later.
Dude, the Detroit fight, I'd love to talk about that a little bit.
Oh my God. I had a friend that was at that fight. Yeah, he was at the game. He was like, it was crazy.
Dude, those guys, some of those guys looked like they could fight, actually.
I like a little bit of scrappiness, man. We need a little bit of scrappiness. Like we're right on the edge, man.
The fact that we came out of that with a winning record as a point fan, I was like, oh, thank God. Because I was like, we just got up here, y'all. Yeah. We just got up here. This is new territory for us.
Yeah. Growing up, to answer that too, I'm the same way as Preston. I was introverted. Never thought I would be the mayor of anything.
You never like, oh, I'm in charge of Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
you never think I'm in charge of the.
Yeah. And like my family also wasn't really interested in politics either. I think for that same reason you're talking about, like, you see the mayors aren't really romanticized a lot in fiction and media. Politics obviously isn't either. It started to get toxic as we were all coming up. I mean,
well, that's why I was like, your generation kind of makes the next jump of it. It's like me and Preston's like our family kind of like teetered to it. Like we helped in the community and did everything, so we like teetered on it, but we never like made the jump because we like knew what that was, especially in that climate. Everybody gets a different background search and everything else. But you guys are like, no, this needs to be done. This is what I like. This next generation is like, we're getting rid of childhood traumas. We're knocking this out. We're doing this now. So it's like the ripple effect is happening. So like as youths, as mayors, we like, how do you guys tap into you're in Boone?
Yeah.
You're in Fletcher. How do you tap into the youth part of it compared? Because you know where the older people are at. You know where they're at. How are you guys getting like your age out and making sure they're like voting and stuff and like?
Bro, I will say Boone is funny because like I never feel older than when I'm like politicking in Boone because I'll run into these like freshmen in college. I'm like, I'm a young guy too. And it literally is that like meme of Steve Buscemi with the skateboard. How do you do politics? I tell them what I'm gonna be. They're like, okay, old man. But I'm like, guys, I'm like one of the youngest to
But then you walk into a room for the older people and they're like, who is this baby in here? And they're like, he's the mayor.
I was talking to my dad about that because I was like, I still feel so, and 26 is, I know to a lot of people maybe feels old. You're definitely an adult at that point. I walk into these rooms like our council of governments where there's a lot of elected officials across the region. I'm by far the youngest, and I've never felt more imposter syndrome than when I walk in a room like that.
My
right?
God, yeah.
And you're just like, oh man, these people have so much more life experience than me, and it's intimidating. But I feel like social media has been great for that, and just that casual approach. And I've been having town halls, and I'll be in a bar, I'll have a beer with folks, I'll answer questions, I'll be really honest. I feel like that's gone a long way. And then just trying to get up there and get dirty myself and do it. I think being young gives you that ability to kind of read the room better. I mean, Boone's such a young town that I think historically we've had some folks that were in elected office that maybe couldn't read the vibe that well because they're just not on social media.
That's what I was like, you guys are actually seen out. You guys are out. Like most mayors are like sticking to an office or somewhere. It's like, I see you guys on social media.
Yeah.
Like y'all was Olivia Dean to comment on my timeline.
Let's go.
I was like, oh, y'all doing Olivia Dean? We doing Olivia Dean out here. Yeah.
Come on, man. What do you know about that?
Oh, I love Olivia Dean.
That's
I love Brit. Look here, British girls who come over here and sing soul music. Hey, you can do it all the time. Y'all should get all the waivers y'all want. Y'all should get probably a office somewhere in America.
Hey, Olivia, if you're listening.
Well, we'll have you on the
podcast. Yeah.
Come down to West North Carolina. We'll find a place for Olivia.
But yeah, no, I mean, I'm kind of like Dalton. I mean, I go in some of these spaces, and like I'm 31 now, and I was first elected when I was 25 to council, mayor 27. And it's like, even at 31, which like I'm starting to get, to that age, it's like I'm still always the youngest person in the room.
But you're like a seasoned vet. It's
and it's like, but I still have 7 years under my belt now from elected office because I got elected in 2019. And it's like, it was interesting because, as a matter of fact, we were just talking about Mayor Smathers and Canton. So like Zeb and I just did a panel for the School of Government for new elected officials. And I was like, y'all want me to be on this? And I was like, I'll go into the space and it's like, I'm giving advice to everybody that's like 50, 60. And like, they come up to me asking me questions. I'm like, this is, it's a bizarre space. And then it's like the social media space. It's like, I'm on TikTok. It's like, I'm on Instagram. And it's like, and I'm posting things. And I'm really out there touching grass, trying to reach the community to figure out like, what are the things that are impacting people on a day-to-day basis that they really care about. It's like, we were just talking about me being at a local boxing event in Waynesville.
But it's like, where would the mayor? No one would think the mayor would pop up. That's like
I'm 100% positive I was the only mayor there. So I was the only mayor that's ever been to that event. But it's like,
you never know. You might want to check the history a little of that run now. We actually had a mayor fighting one of these.
But I'm there and I'm talking to people and I'm trying to connect with people and figure out, if they're in Waynesville, those same issues probably translate to Fletcher too. And I think my residents care about that.
And that's great for the community to see the mayor, like you're at an event, that's mayor's here. Yeah. That makes the whole room, mayor's here. Mayor's here. And it's just like, in certain events, you said, you're in the fighting one. They're like, the mayor's at the fight. It's like, demographics from the people everywhere. I have to go to the people. Right? No matter how strange the event is, I must people watch even for myself.
And so, Petey, I'm interested when we're talking about Western North Carolina. It's like you want to bring up that we're kind of cousins now, but it's like it's almost like Black folk almost aren't recognized as people that are from West North Carolina.
African American Appalachians? That's what I like to call ourselves. African American Appalachians. It's very hard to say, but we're in a group. We meet at Denny's. Trying to explain that to somebody. I did a show last night it was like an anti-ICE crowd, and I was just like, the joke I had was like, I got pulled over by ICE, and they asked me, it was like, what's your nationality? And I said, Appalachian. And I was like, that's all. I was like, there's a lot of things I put in, but I was like, being a Black person from Appalachia, we're very
that's part of that too.
Yeah, it's like, why are we still here? How did we make it out of here? Why are we so comfortable here? Because it's all we know.
It's all we know.
And so it's just like, when people are like, oh, y'all got Black people in the house? I'm like, yeah, we're in the living room. It's very hard to get us out of the house, because it's like, my living room has Black people in it already. I control the DJ, I control the alcohol, I control everything in here. So it's very hard to get us out. But when we do go out, you'll see us out in bunches. Like I have a friend, they were into horse racing, and I found out there's like, I just saw it on TikTok, and there's just all these Black people in the woods. And I was like, what are we doing out in the woods? And they were in line, it's in Alabama. They're racing horses.
What?
Like drag racing horses.
Was Xavier Leggett there?
He probably was. Xavier Leggett may be running it. Like you saw Butterbean was running that one. And he may be running this one. Because it was like brothers out there on Timbs and horses. I said, you should take the Timbs off, you go faster. I thought the Timbs will weigh you down.
Yeah. Somebody was in Boots boxing the other night, so I don't know.
No, but it's like the show off like the woods of like black people just like in the woods and it's like, oh, we don't go to, I'm like, we are out here doing insanely incredible things. You just don't hear about it because we go back home and we're tired.
I mean, that brings me to another point, like how comedy is so great to talk about all these really sensitive issues that, you know, it's more difficult for us to talk about. I talk about race all the time. But you shared this really great meme, and you were talking, I don't even think it was a meme. I think it was you doing stand-up, as a matter of fact. But correct me if I'm wrong. And you were talking about the Confederate flag around
the Confederate flag. Oh, yeah, the one. They took it down. I think they took it down.
Oh, my God.
It's the one down there. It's like when you go down to Travelers Rest, it's a giant.
Oh, they took down the flag.
Yeah,
no,
we're
happy about that.
Yeah.
I thought they took down the meme.
No. That's still up. The flag thing is the giant one in Travelers Rest. It's huge. And I said, it's like a giant bed sheet. Like, who makes a Confederate flag? That'd be such a waste of material. And it's just flying in the wind. And I would say, like, I've traveled with my white friends a lot. I go up and down the coast, so I'm always like in the room, like car with comics. Sometimes the only person of color in the comic. And no matter what, if we come past the one in Travelers Rest, they like to look back at me if I'm in the back seat, like. And I'm like, what you want me to do? Like, what do you want me to do? And I was like, when I got mad, I was just like, get out the car, go get it. Park the car right now, go up there and climb that for our friendship. It's like, what do you want me to do? It's like, it's there in our face every year, every day. We know what it is. Right. But at the same time, it's like we've overachieved that so much, we just see that as history now. Because I have to remember it. I don't want it to happen again. I don't want to be doomed to repeat it. So it's like, I've seen that flag my whole life. I know what it means, but at the same time, I'm like, why, as a person of the South, we did not make a new one? Yeah. If we lost the war, let's hurry up and make a new one for this next generation. It means nothing of that. But to see it still get like air, like it's on, like it was just so big. And I was like, I pass it every day. And it just made me laugh because I was like, you are fine in this car. You and me are friends. Look at you two.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? What is that?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Like, this means nothing. This means nothing. And it's like, so don't look back at me because we're like, no one, like, I used to, my mother used to teach us the Freedom Riders.
Yeah.
The people I used to always think that was what America was. It was the tragedy of those freedom fighters who were literally just fighting for black and brown people like in the South to get that bus blown up and they were friends. Yeah. And for that to happen, I was like, that's what America is. It's like, no matter what, we will be with each other to the end. Black, white, know what? You're my neighbor. Yeah. I'm your neighbor. I am from here. We grew here. This is how we are surviving here. No matter that's my neighbor. Like after the hurricane, we all became neighbors. So that's like a third level of degree we have now. And then now you look around, you're like, oh, you're friends with so-and-so? I was like, it's mayors, me and President Trump. I was like, it's dots. You guys are just now able to see the dots to connect it to make your own picture. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you see like, oh, this connects to here. If I put this here and this here, oh, this can work out. Right. And now you got a cool little pipeline. So it's just like, just to have each other as neighbors, it's like, don't let any flag, anything else try to divide. Right. We're all one. It's like, we're in Western North Carolina. We all we got out there. Yeah. They kind of forget about us sometimes. Like my dad works on like used to work for like Roy Moore.
Who's that?
As a politician. Roy Cooper. Roy Cooper. Wait. I don't know why I said, my dad used to work for Roy Cooper. We got to hear. We got to unpack all of that. Yeah, he used to work for Roy Cooper. And so he used to always say, he's like, down there, they don't really,
Nash County.
Yeah, they don't really think about us. They see us as like Western North Carolina as a part of Tennessee. Yeah. They don't really. So when they have those meetings down there, you always need a representative here. Be like, no, we're still up here. We're still a part of North Carolina. Yeah. Don't you forget about us. Yeah.
And I feel like so, and that's part of the reason. I mean, like you said, we really got to look out for each other, recognize that we're neighbors, even if Fletcher and Boone are far away. And
hi, friends. Preston Blakely here, Mayor of the town of Fletcher, and half of Do You Even Live Here, alongside Mayor Boone, Dalton George. Thanks for listening to part 1 with Asheville comedian Petey Smith-Mcdowell. Come back next time to hear part 2 and hear more of our conversation with Petey Smith-Mcdowell.